of the 1,001 Goals. Zarathustra has seen many lands and many peoples. Thus he has discovered the good and evil of many peoples. Zarathustra has found no greater power on earth than good and evil. No people could live without evaluating, but if it wishes to maintain itself, it must not evaluate as its neighbor evaluates. Much that seemed good to one people seemed shame and disgrace to another. Thus I found much that was called evil in one place was in another decked with purple honors. One neighbor never understood another. His soul was always amazed at his neighbor's madness and wickedness. A table of values hangs over every people. Behold, it is the table of its overcomings. Behold, it is the voice of its will to power. What it accounts hard, it calls praiseworthy. What it accounts indispensable and hard, it calls good. And that which relieves the greatest need, the rare, the hardest of all, it glorifies as holy. Whatever causes it to rule and conquer and glitter, to the dread and envy of its neighbor, that it accounts the sublimest, the paramount, the evaluation and the meaning of all things. Truly, my brother, if you only knew a people's need and land and sky and neighbor, you could surely divine the law of its overcomings and why it is upon this ladder that it mounts towards its hope. You should always be the first and outrival all others. Your jealous soul should love no one except your friend. This precept made the soul of a Greek tremble. In following it, he followed his path to greatness. To speak the truth and to know well how to handle bow and arrow. This seemed both estimable and hard to that people from whom I got my name, a name which is both estimable and hard to me. To honor father and mother, and to do their will, even from the roots of the soul. Another people hung this table of overcoming over itself, and became mighty and eternal with it. To practice loyalty, and for the sake of loyalty to risk honor and blood, even in evil and dangerous causes. Another people mastered itself with such teaching, and thus mastering itself, it became pregnant and heavy with great hopes. Truly men have given themselves all their good and evil. Truly they did not take it, they did not find it, it did not descend to them as a voice from heaven. Man first implanted values into things to maintain himself. He created the meaning of things, a human meaning. Therefore he calls himself man, that is, the evaluator. Evaluation is creation. Hear it, you creative men. Valuating is itself the value and jewel of all valued things. Only through evaluation is there value, and without evaluation the nut of existence would be hollow. Hear it, you creative men. A change in values, that means a change in the creators of values. He who has to be a creator always has to destroy. Peoples were the creators at first, only later were individuals creators. Indeed, the individual himself is still the latest creation. Once the peoples hung a table of values over themselves. The love that wants to rule and the love that wants to obey created together such tables as these. Joy in the herd is older than joy in the ego. And as long as the good conscience is called herd, only the bad conscience says I. Truly, the cunning, loveless ego that seeks its advantage in the advantage of many, that is not the origin of the herd, but the herd's destruction. It has always been creators and loving men who created good and evil. Fire of love and fire of anger glow in the names of all virtues. Zarathustra has seen many lands and many peoples. Zarathustra has found no greater power on earth than the works of these loving men. These works are named good and evil. Truly the power of this praising and blaming is a monster. Tell me, who will subdue it for me, brothers? Tell me, who will fasten fetters upon the 1,000 necks of this beast? Hitherto there have been 1,000 goals, for there have been 1,000 peoples. Only fetters are still lacking for these 1,000 necks. The one goal is still lacking. Yet tell me, my brothers, if a goal for humanity is still lacking, is there not still lacking humanity itself? Thus spoke Zarathustra.